What do you think is the number one factor preventing organizations from moving to a work from home anywhere setup outside of the access to maybe immovable hardware?
I think there are two important aspects than one. I begin with the time, right? You will have huge trouble managing your time because many of us as remote employees working from home, there are ample distractions, and those distractions are significant challenges in making sure that we master the required concentration and focus to get the job done. And very, very important aspect, which is logistics, the network, the printer, and with lockdown where people are glued on to many units of usage, I think we have a huge challenge in dealing with the bandwidth. For me, these two things stand out clearly.
I'd next like to ask the same question to Felix.
Hi. All right. See, I think the primary concern would be on the security front, right? It is basically, how you're able to protect and safeguard your customer data. And recently, we all know there's number of cyber threats that has drastically increased, making the remote workers more vulnerable. And once every organization is able to build a secure platform and to access their virtual office network, I think then working from anywhere should be possible.
Thanks, Felix, for that answer. Next, I'd like to direct the same question to Sangram.
Thanks, Rohan. I believe for me, the number one factor is assertive leadership and governance, per se. Just to elaborate a little around this, I'd like to refer to a movie, The Lion King, right? You have a lion who's portraying a king's role and who's loved and respected and followed by all the animals. He wouldn't remain that for long if he only operated from the cave, would he? Right? So just moving from there, a study typically states that 7% of the entire communication efficacy is verbal and 93% is non-verbal, the tone, the body language, etc. I believe it's going to be very challenging for leaders at every level to be assertive with their teams in a remote setup and ensure that the governance, the day-to-day activities, the timelines, everything is met in pact.
Thanks, Sangram. And I love the use of the example of Lion King, one of my favorite movies as well. And you're right, a king who doesn't show up is not going to be able to, garner that respect. On that note, Jay, the same question, what do you think is the number one factor preventing organizations?
And in my opinion, what could be preventing is companies just don't know what consequences may occur if they just open it up, because everybody is learning newly. People are facing the situation for the first time. Definitely, like Felix also mentioned, there are issues like a data privacy. We don't know where employees are based. It's not that everybody is going to have the same network. Security, everything can be prevented. So companies are absolutely double thinking because there's no precedent set.
I completely agree with the lack of precedence being one of the biggest factors. I mean, this is something I don't think anyone could have foreseen or even be prepared for. I think a lot of business continuity plans for a lot of organizations kind of went out the window with this entire pandemic.